Hey mom, today I went to the Chiang Mai Sunday night market and it immediately brought to mind the Silk Road. Not as a romanticized relic, but as a practical system that once moved goods, ideas, and people across vast distances. The Silk Road wasn't a single road, but a loose network of routes stretching across continents, connecting East Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and beyond. It moved goods like silk and spices, but just as importantly, it moved ideas, technologies, and beliefs. What defined it was connection without central control. What also defined it was risk. Large portions of the Silk Road operated with minimal law enforcement, inconsistent protection, and fragmented authority, which made trade both lucrative and dangerous. The difference stood out sharply while walking through the Chiang Mai market. Here, the density of people and vendors created energy, but it was clearly structured. Signs marked entrances and exits. Rules about smoking and littering were visible. The presence of order reduced uncertainty. I didn't have to think about personal safety, theft, or whether norms would be enforced. That baseline of trust changed how everyone behaved. People lingered, browsed casually, negotiated lightly, and stayed longer. Participation felt low risk, which increased participation overall. Historically, the Silk Road functioned under very different conditions. Merchants traveled armed or in caravans. They relied on personal alliances, reputations, and local power brokers rather than standardized rules. Trust was earned slowly and lost quickly. The lack of consistent enforcement meant that every interaction carried higher stakes. Trade still happened, but it demanded vigilance. Movement along the route required preparation, contingency planning, and an acceptance of loss as part of the system. Despite that difference, the similarity lies in why people showed up at all. Both systems worked because the concentration of exchange was worth the cost. On the Silk Road, merchants accepted danger because access to rare goods in distant markets created outsized opportunity. In Chiang Mai, vendors show up because foot traffic concentrates demand. The mechanism is the same. Density creates value. The conditions, however, dramatically change behavior. The practical insight from today is that systems don't just need connection, they need safety to scale. Connection alone creates opportunity, but protection determines who can access it. The Silk Road concentrated value among those willing to accept risk. The modern market distributes opportunity more broadly because the environment absorbs much of that risk on behalf of participants. The leverage here is understanding where to position yourself. Being a node on a route matters more than being isolated excellence. Placing work, ideas, or products inside an active network multiplies exposure and opportunity without requiring proportional effort. The Sunday market, like the Silk Road before it, reminds me that circulation creates advantage and connection compounds quietly over time. I ate dinner at the market and that was it for my day. Okay, love you. Bye.